All right. Hi, my name is Travis Lindsay, and I'm here for the Center for Entrepreneurship at Cal State Fullerton. And with me today is one of my former students, Rachel Littell. Rachel, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, Travis. Yes, I'm Rachel Littell. I just finished school about a year ago, and I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for having me on.
So, Rachel, you've become an entrepreneur. I think you kind of always were one, even when I knew you as a student. So you've started a business and you've changed the name to Ziggy Bars, and this may be a little bit of an update from people who saw our last interview, which happened earlier this year, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey, how you came about this idea and you started Ziggy Bars?
Sure, absolutely. So my daughter, who's now 21, when she was younger, she had horrible, horrible constipation issues. My poor daughter is going to get thrown under the bus constantly, now that I'm starting this business.
That's okay. That's what parents are for.
That's right. That's right. So I took her to the doctor and she had to be on laxatives and they took x-rays and it was really bad. And I didn't want her to continue using laxatives. So I had to research what would work. And I tried to listen to doctors. I did the whole wheat thing and all of that stuff, more fruits and vegetables, and nothing worked. And she was always in pain, crying all hours of the night. And so I finally honed in on what worked and what didn't. And I've been making them for 20 years now. I made them for my daycare kids when I ran an in-home daycare because a lot of the kids there had an issue. And over the last 20 years, the more parents I talk to, the more I realize that this is a really big issue. Moms talk and come to find out there are more kids that suffer from this than don't. So when I was in my last semester at Cal State Fullerton, I was reading one of my books and it said, if you knew of a problem and you knew how to solve it, you have a business. And so I thought to myself, I know how to make people poop because, people still call me and ask me questions and still request my snacks. So I thought, maybe I should start selling snacks. Maybe I should start a business. And I think, in 10 minutes, I had all of my ideas ready to go. I went over to my mom's house and decided to start the business. They were called Gotta Go. So they were Gotta Go at first.
Right.
But it wasn't well received. So
do you have any assumptions as to why that wasn't well received?
Every time I would explain what they did, and they'd say, "Oh, wait, what's your name? Your name's Gotta Go? It's Gotta Go Foods." Yeah. And they go, "Oh, okay." And they put it in their pocket, or I'll hold on to this till I'm at home or till I'm near a bathroom. And I could not say enough. It's just oatmeal and fruit. It's not going to make you go unless you have to go. But it wasn't well received. And I finally knew I had to change the name.
So speaking on that part specifically, how do you position Ziggy Bars? Is it as more of like a nutritious bar that you should eat all the time, or once a day as like a snack, or as a snack replacement? And it also has digestive properties, so something more in along those lines, maybe as like a probiotic kind of in that space, or how do you position it?
So there are quite a few things out there on the market, especially geared towards women and adults, but there's nothing for kids. I don't know why when there's such a huge market. My snacks can be eaten whenever and wherever. They will not make you go because it has things like oatmeal and date paste and coconut oil. So it'll only, like I said, help you go. It'll keep you regular. I'm not allowed to say it's healthy because then it would be considered a medicine. But it is an all natural snack. So it's like if you wanted to eat more than one bowl of oatmeal, you could have a couple of the Ziggy Bars, but you can have them anywhere at any time. Just like a regular snack or breakfast, like me this morning.
Very good. So, okay. So we know what some of the ingredients are. What about the flavors? What kind of different variations of Ziggy Bars do you have on offer?
So right now we have oatmeal, cinnamon oatmeal, which is the original, and chocolate and peanut butter. And those are the ones that I've always made. The ones that are in the works right now, because I'm playing around with some, banana works. I would like to start banana maybe in a few months. And then also pumpkin spice, because my youngest daughter keeps saying, you should try pumpkin spice. You should try it. So over the weekend, I'm going to test it out and see if it works.
And so when marketing products to kids, I mean, obviously the parent is, and almost all the time it's the mom, right, who's ending up buying these products. There, but I mean, so how does the kids, you know, choice factor into how you actually name the product, or do you just name it pumpkin spice or oatmeal or, you know, blueberry, or do you give it like a name that more resonates with kids?
I just wanted to give the flavor names, just the flavors. I just wanted to make it really easy. Ziggy Bars, can I tell you why I named it Ziggy
Yeah,
Bars?
absolutely.
Okay, so this is kind of a funny story. So after I decided that gotta go had to go because people took it literal, we came up with almost 200 different names. We came up with Harmony Bar. I mean, all of the names. I had my girlfriends come over. We had dinner. We had, you know, a whiteboard and named everything. And the lawyer shot down every single one of them. And I was talking to my mom on the phone, and it was a bottleneck. We could not move forward. I could not brand. I couldn't do anything until we had the name, right? And so I was talking to my mom, and her cat Ziggy comes up and she goes, "Ziggy, move." And this cat has hated me his whole life. And, or she, I don't know. Ziggy's either a girl or a boy. I don't even know, because this cat hates me. And I said, how funny would it be if we named it Ziggy Bars? And my mom said, ooh, that's a really good idea. We should name it Ziggy. Let's name it Ziggy. I thought, you know what? If I ask the lawyer and he says yes, and I name it after this cat that hates me and has hated me for 15 years, it's going to be a little upsetting. The name was fine. And so I said, you know what? Let's just move forward. And for whatever reason, now that cat is nice to me. She goes in between my feet and she purrs, and it's like she knows. But that's the only reason why they're called Ziggy Bars.
That's awesome. So when did you make that change, and have you started selling under the name Ziggy Bars?
So made the change a few months ago, and talk about a logistical nightmare, because I had to change the name with the IRS and, you know, with food permits and all of that stuff. So we are now selling under Ziggy Bars. It is incredibly difficult. I actually have to call the IRS later today because there's still a hang up on my social media profiles because the IRS still hasn't changed it. So if you start a business, make sure that your name is correct before you grow, which is, you know, really important.
And for the record, in case anybody from the IRS is watching this, they do a wonderful job. They have great customer service.
They're my favorite people.
It's really easy to get in touch with them, and it's just great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So what kind of response have you received from parents and kids for the name change? Has it been positive?
Everyone likes it.
Oh, awesome.
So how ironic is it that I name it after this cat that hates me, and I've only wanted to pet this cat. I've only wanted this cat to like me, and everyone likes the name. And so I feel like it just kind of solidified that I needed to change the name. And another thing is I would tell people the exact same thing under the name Gotta Go. And then I would say the exact same thing and call them Ziggy Bars. And not one person has said, oh, I'll wait till I get home, or I'll eat this later, or anything like that. So even with the same description, different name, people are ready to eat it right then and there. So it's been a very positive feedback.
Yeah, the more I know about naming stuff and, you know, entrepreneurship in general, and just the more years I get under my belt, unfortunately, the less I think that old, I think, a line from poetry about a rose named something else, you know, would smell just as sweet.
Yeah.
Probably not. I mean, seriously though, I mean, if you called a rose, you know, stink blossom, people are going to automatically assume that, oh, well, it's going to be stinky, and so it kind of just like primes them. And so, yeah, what you actually name something matters quite a lot, right?
And I thought it was a genius when I came up with Gotta Go. When I had that idea, that was like an in the middle of the night kind of idea. I thought I was the smartest person in the world. You know, because then I was like, it describes everything.
Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, hey, I've had those same kind of epiphanies that sound really, really great in the middle of the night, and then, you know, start trying to implement that idea, and it's like, oh, maybe not so much, right?
Yeah, maybe test it out before you pay to protect it. That was an expensive lesson.
So besides the name change, during this whole process, have you run into any other issues, or can you kind of just give everybody like a sit rep, a situational report on what it's been like launching this business?
Professor JJ, he actually probably gave me one of the best pieces of advice. He said, starting a business is one thing, but when it's a food business is a beast. It's unlike any other business. And it is incredibly hard. And business isn't going to be easy, but with the food business, it's that much harder because, you have to take into consideration that people are going to eat it. And since my target market right now are kids, that's even more responsibility. So I have to cross all my T's and dot my I's and stuff. But it's a lot of fun. I really, really enjoy what I do. And even when I'm knocked down, which is constantly because I'm starting a business, I still wake up every morning wanting to do this. So if you're really, really passionate about starting a food business and you have especially something that might help people, then move forward and try and make it happen and just don't stop.
Yeah, no, I know a couple of people who are in the food business. Victor Macias, I don't know. Okay, yeah, you do
He's mentoring
recognize him.
me.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, he just started Santana Snacks, and I mean, it's the kind of not exactly the same, but it's in the same, broad category. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because you got a bunch of regulations that you have to deal with on the food side and on the preparation side. That's somebody who's starting a service consulting business, somebody who's like more like me, that we don't have to deal with that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of effort. Plus you're making a consumer product, and a consumer product that can spoil. That I mean, if you get it returned, you can't resell it. Can't resell food. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of issues that you have to deal with, and so I commend you for taking this on. And I'm guessing part of it is that you just didn't realize all the problems you were going to face, right?
You know what? I went into it thinking, expect the unexpected.
Okay.
And you just have to get
That's
up one more
good.
time, then you fall down.
That's always good. So where can people buy Ziggy Bars?
So right now we're only selling them in person, and I'm also having people pick them up from the commercial kitchen where we're selling. But we would like to sell online very soon. And it's funny that you brought up Victor Macias, because even though our products are completely different, we are actually on the same path, wanting to sell online, and we are both advertising the same way. We are both using the same people to set up websites and stuff like that. So it's really nice to have someone that helps guide me through this. So hopefully starting in November, you'll be able to buy them online at ziggybars.com.
Yeah, and I'm going to guess that you're one of those rare entrepreneurs who actually pays attention to the coaching and the advising that you get. And so that's helpful. And, for anybody who's watching this, who's thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, find good mentors, find good advisors, because they could really help you, especially people who have been there, done that. And maybe that's like the only commonality you have with them, is that they've done what you've done before. But finding those people, they're going to help you avoid those pitfalls and help you basically do things a lot quicker and a lot better than you otherwise would have done if you tried to figure it out on your own.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah. And then, I would say the best piece of advice is to have the mentors and the advisors and listen to them. Victor actually gave me a piece of advice that probably helped me not lose my company. And I think it's really important, because when I've been wanting to take this to co-packers, and ironically enough, my product gums up the works and it doesn't work in the machines. And so they say that I need to take out some of the ingredients. And Victor's piece of advice was, don't change what works. And the ingredients that I would have to take out are the ingredients that help you go. And so I'm so glad he said that, because I probably would have tried to play with it to get it to work in a co-packer.
Yeah, so yeah, entrepreneurship is complicated all the time. And, sometimes it makes sense to try to work within the constraints of a supplier, and sometimes it doesn't. And, when it's a critical piece of your product, I think you made the right decision. And I mean, especially again with food products, you change one thing and it changes everything pretty much.
Yep.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
So do you have any plans in the future to add in new flavors that people can look forward to?
So I'm planning on doing a Kickstarter in a couple of weeks.
Oh, cool.
And one of the rewards would be to unlock, like if we had more backers, would be to unlock the next flavor. And I'm hoping to do that twice with the banana and the pumpkin spice. So hopefully that works. But I have so many different snack ideas because this is 20 years of me making stuff to help my kids and to help my daycare kids and a lot of friends. So I have a ton of different snacks, but the Ziggy Bars, I've been making them so long, it's not hard for me to come up with different flavors and just tweak 2 ingredients to change the flavors.
So do you have like a sign up page or something that we could send people to for that so that they could be notified when it comes live?
Yes, absolutely. If you went to launch.ziggybars.com, you can sign up to be on the wait list and get the emails and stuff.
Gotcha. And we'll definitely put that in the description on the video as well, so that people could just click. So that's perfect. I know you're working with Victor, and that's, you know, I'm sure that's something that he mentioned to do, because with any Kickstarter campaign, just as general advice, you know, you pretty much make the most impact at the very beginning. And so the bigger that your community is to start off with, the more likely that you're going to be to actually achieve your goal. And I don't think you mentioned how big is your goal?
Well, on Kickstarter, you have to, if you don't reach your goal, you don't get the money.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to say $10,000, but my goal is a lot more than that with what I actually want to do with the money.
Right.
So whether I make the goal or not, I go on, I still make these cookies. They're very labor intensive in the commercial kitchen, but life goes on and I'll still do it. I will just grow a lot slower. So hopefully I make a lot more money and I can build a machine to help me make them a little bit faster.
Well, hopefully we could direct some people from this interview to sign up and to start or to contribute to the crowdfunding campaign. I think that would be awesome.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah. So Rachel, as somebody who does listen to advisors, why don't you put on your advisor cap? What advice would you give to somebody who is thinking about starting their own business? Maybe it is their own, you know, cookie business or whatever the case may be. What advice would you give?
Other than make sure that you have mentors and advisors, because that really is the top piece of advice, I would say that when you do it, make sure that you're passionate. And there have been so many times where something happens and I think, is this a sign that it's not going to work? Do I need to quit? Is this a sign where I need to throw in the towel? And I feel like I'm so close and I'm so close. And I think to myself, the reason that so many people don't achieve a nice, big, successful business is because they quit before they should. They quit too soon. And so my piece of advice is, if you know it's going to work, if you really are confident that you can have a successful business, continue to go and get up every single time, no matter what.
Awesome advice. Have that grit to keep on going and the passion that you need to sustain yourself during those hard times. Because hey, guess what? No matter who you are, every entrepreneur you can think of, they've had some very, very, very hard times.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So great advice. Anything else you would like to share before we finish this up?
Other than please go to launch.ziggybars.com to sign up. They really are very, very good. Like I said, I've been making them forever. My mom can't stop eating them. It's driving me nuts. That's why I need to keep her refrigerator empty. But please sign up and try them out and let's see how big we can get this. And I'd like to help as many kids as possible. You know, seeing my little one was heartbreaking, and I truly do like helping other people. And when you're a mom that has a solution to a problem, even though I'm not allowed to say it's a solution, but they really do help, you want to share that, because no one wants other kids to suffer. And I don't, on top of not wanting kids to suffer, I want parenting to be easy. I want more parents to be able to enjoy being a parent. So why not make it as easy as possible and just take that one heartache out of parenting.
Sounds great. Thank you very much, Rachel, for doing this interview, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you so much, Travis.